super hot.
Cold.
Is it like part of perimenopause for your feet to overheat? I feel like my feet are always so hot now. And I always used to have hot feet to begin with, but now it's like amped up even more. And you're like in a sweater. Good grief.
I'm cold.
Okay, here we go. This is Don't Watch at Night, a spooky little podcast dedicated to Latin American and Spanish language horror. I'm your host, Valerie.
And I'm Veronica.
And Veronica literally just got off work.
Yes.
How was the commute?
But I only worked like half a day because I had a dental appointment this morning. Oh,
okay. Guys, just to let you know, we are in the month of November, and we are making November Step Outside Spanish Language Month because always towards the end of the year, Veronica and I just sort of mentally hit a roadblock. We're just like trying to get through the rest of the year. So Step Outside Spanish Language Month, we're going to be exploring horror movies that are definitely not Spanish language. They might be other foreign language films, or they might be films based in the States. Just depends on what we source out. We'll get to what we watched here in a second. Ron, is there anything else you wanted to share about how your weekend went? Anything? Oh, yeah.
It was Halloween.
It was Halloween. That's right.
Which it was uneventful for my house. Number one, because my kiddos they're just aged out of all of dressing up, so they don't trick or treat anymore. And really, on our street, because our street is just like one street removed from being at the edge of the neighborhood, and we just don't get a lot of traffic. And actually, surprisingly, I was expecting to get more since Halloween fell on a Friday this time. But I think we actually had less traffic. So it was kind of, and I didn't get to watch, I never got around to watching Halloween.
Oh,
my tradition is broken.
Yeah, I was expecting, so we had about the same amount of people that we always have every year, whether it's on a weekday or not. And that was surprising to me, specifically because, it was on a Friday this year. I just expected way more. And I was wondering if maybe people had Halloween parties at home because it's on a Friday, or
maybe that's what
I don't know. What did he theorize?
That people there were parties going on since it was on a Friday.
Alex was noticing how, he took the kids out in the neighborhood and they were just observing that there just seemed to be fewer houses giving out candy in general, which is kind of crappy. I get it together, people. Somebody in the neighborhood said, well, maybe it's the economy. And I'm like, well, maybe, but particularly in this community, there's nobody who can't afford to give out candy. So I don't know. These people can afford to be these white people can afford to be giving out candy. So anyway, it was still fun. We had a great time. Everything went off without a hitch. I did it. I completed my tribute to Senor Scary. And so I have talked about him on previous episodes, guys, but this Halloween I was inspired by Senor Scary. Go visit his website, seniorscary.com. I think he's like a graphics guy as his profession, but he does home haunts. And he's got a great website, and he does really amazing work and does a lot to lift up Latin folklore. And so it's really cool what he does. So go check him out.
The movie that we watched this time around, it's out of Italy, an Italian language horror movie. The very unadorned title of a classic horror story.
Did it have an Italian title? Was there an Italian?
I don't know. I didn't come across one.
I didn't see it.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. I probably would not have been able to say it even if I had found it. But in English, it's just a classic horror story. Yeah. Came out in 2021. Had two directors, actually. Roberto De Feo, which seems kind of an unfortunate last name, if I'm saying it correctly. And Paolo Strippoli. Fun fact, we almost named my youngest son Paolo.
Really?
But
What made you change your mind?
I don't remember. Actually, or maybe it was my oldest son that we almost named Paolo. I think it was the oldest son, and the reason we didn't go by it because when we were telling Vanessa, our middle sister who passed away from cancer 21 years ago, when I was giving her the short list of names that we had kind of narrowed it down to, out of those, she liked Lorenzo. So after he passed, of course, that's what we named him.
That's what she went with, yeah.
So
yeah.
And it stars Matilda Lutz, Francesco Russo, Peppino Mazzotta, Will Merrick, Julia Boll, and Alida Baldari Calabria. In this gruesome suspense film, strangers traveling in southern Italy become stranded in the woods where they must fight desperately to get out alive.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them do not succeed.
It was like
spoilers, by the way, while I say that. There will be spoilers in this episode. So if you haven't checked out the movie yet, go do that and then come back and join us.
Yep. It had a runtime of like hour and a half, right?
Yes, the sweet spot.
I will tell you right off the bat, like there were parts of this film that seriously made me think, and like I hadn't watched a trailer. Veronica, of course, notoriously doesn't watch trailers. So I hadn't seen a trailer on this film either. And there were parts of this movie where I was just like, man, I really got to quit letting Ronnie pick up the movies. Because it's just like, there's some gruesome moments. Thankfully, I think it's kind of tastefully done in such a way that you don't really...
No, whatever. I fast-forwarded through those things. I wasn't watching it.
Well, I wasn't either. I was like this. I was like covering my eyes. But, I was sneaking peeks here and there. And they do kind of artfully do it so that you don't necessarily see anything. You just hear it. You hear it, which is enough.
Yes.
So, I don't know.
I almost texted you during that scene with the redheaded dude. And I was like, texted you. Like, nope, not doing it. I'm not watching
You're like, and I'm out.
But I muscled through.
Yeah, that was the scene where I was just like, man, I gotta quit letting her pick the movie. We gotta stop. What did you think of it?
Well, you're supposed to go first.
Well, okay, on the whole, I can see why people like it. I mean, I think there's probably a good mix of people who, if you love it, you love it. If you hate it, you hate it. It's definitely, and we did, sorry, Ron, I know I'm rubbing at my eyes a lot. My eyes are just itching a lot. So I'm rubbing my eyes a lot, guys, as I'm talking. But there's a lot of, it's giving Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I never saw The Last House on the Left, but other people kind of reference that one too, that it kind of makes them think of that one. Saw, obviously. So there's just like, there's lots of different movie references, not direct references, but you'll pick up on those influences in this film. But because it is so grisly, and it's just not one that I would necessarily gravitate toward if given an option. Having said that, it at least alludes to folk horror in the beginning, which I'm into. So I was thinking that part was cool. But what did you think of it?
I mean, I liked it. It did have its gory bits, for sure. And I didn't even listen to what was going on. I just hit fast forward. I was like, or actually, because it's Netflix doesn't have fast forward, just like you can skip ahead like 10 seconds at a time or something.
Yeah.
So I kept hitting the 10-second button, like
jump,
not
jump.
over, not over. But it did. I thought it was suitably creepy for at least until the twist is revealed, but so that first part that does feel like it's just a kind of a folk horror was suitably creepy. So I thought it was well done, and I thought although it didn't quite make a whole lot of sense to me, the twist, and we can get to that later.
Yeah.
That part of it, but
where it leads you in terms of like the folk horror aspect of it and the lore that it gives you, I thought that was really interesting. And apparently it's not totally like, there is a little element of truth to it. The three nights or whatever. I mean, there is a bit of a legend or myth that references those three. Also,
Mastroso.
Monstruoso. Is it Monstruoso? Did I say that right?
Mastroso.
Not Monstruoso.
And Garganioso.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. So it is sort of based on history that I think dates back like centuries.
Now the dog.
Okay.
It scared me.
It doesn't always come through on the final recording, guys, but if you could hear it right now, it's loud. It just like busts up in there. So I thought that was kind of neat. I went looking for more on it, and I found, like, if you go to and we did link it for you guys, the Wikipedia page on this lore it's an Italian Wikipedia page. So when you go and you click translate to English, I'm not going to read it for you guys because I don't feel like the English translation comes through very well. Like, I was trying to read it and make sense of it. It's just not a clean translation is what it comes down to. So I wasn't really able, I don't think it would read well is what I'm saying. But you're welcome to go and look at it yourselves, guys, and take a look at it. The opening of the movie, what is her name?
What was that character?
The character that Matilda plays.
Elisa.
So Matilda, who plays Elisa, she's also in this horror movie run that I've heard of called Revenge. That might be fun to check out. And that's French, if we ever want to look at that one. But anyway, yeah. So she plays Elisa, and Elisa she's on the phone with her mom. We learn that not Matilda, Elisa is pregnant. Is that the dog? What is going on? What is that?
That's Bella.
Oh, okay.
Talking to the dog. Sorry.
Okay, no, it's okay. Let's see. Picking back up. Elisa she's on the phone with her mom. We learn that she's pregnant. We learn that she's not planning to keep it, and then she's going to hop on this part of this rideshare trip to see her mother, to go to her mother, wherever it is.
That's bizarre to me. Like
the rideshare.
Why would you want to travel with a bunch of strangers? Like that would be like my worst. That's hell. That's my personal hell right there.
Well, and I mean, it kind of, this movie kind of puts me off of that altogether, because if something like this happens in life and this is your survival team and it's a bunch of randos who turn out to be like this, no, thank you. I don't want that. So yeah, this movie turned me off rideshare. Certainly for like a road trip,
Is that a real thing? So people do that like for a long distance trip? Like I'm not talking about just carpooling to work. I'm like a long distance trip where you're in a vehicle for hours with strangers.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I would not want to do that ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, just like get on a bus. I don't know that there are buses in this. It seems like it's like they're going through a very rural part of Italy. I don't know where she starts off, but they're traveling through a rural part of the countryside Italy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a rideshare. And immediately, because I didn't quite pick up on right away, I didn't connect the dots that it's a rideshare. So initially I thought she was going on this trip with friends. Mm-hmm. And then immediately when you see these people, you're like, oh, these people don't know each other at all. Like that's very blatantly obvious, because they just all come from different walks of life and different stages of life. So we have Fabrizio. Fabrizio is the driver, right? Mm-hmm. That's his name. We have the doctor, Carlo. And then we have...
No, Ricardo.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ricardo. And then we have Mark and Sophia. Mm-hmm. And Sophia and Mark are engaged. Is that right?
Or a couple, I don't know.
They're definitely together. Yeah. So, and Mark is the only one who, he's not Italian.
No.
And he speaks limited Italian. I didn't really get where he's from. Maybe the UK. I don't know. What did you think of Mark? Freaking douche.
I mean, he did not deserve what happened to him.
No, he didn't. He didn't deserve that.
He was annoying. He was
annoying, Mr. I drive better drunk.
Well, and just when they're passing out beer, because Fabrizio has a cooler of beer for his rideshare peeps, and Elisa turns it down because she's pregnant, or who knows, maybe she just doesn't like beer, and he's just kept shoving it in her face and trying to he won't take no for an answer. It's like, why do you even care if she drinks beer or not? You don't know her.
Yeah.
And then he just commandeers the RV, which is what they're traveling in.
Because he's like, I drive faster when I'm drunk. And I'm like, well, that's a winning formula. Good job. Yeah. At night.
So he was just kind of a jerk, but he didn't deserve what happened to him.
No. I kind of picked up on Ricardo being elusive and standoffish, but we don't really learn what his story is until later. It's not it doesn't take very long before the disaster happens. And so after Mark commandeers a vehicle and is driving them through in the night, they're just trying to make time on the road. There's a dead animal in the road, and Fabrizio swerves the car to help Mark avoid hitting it. And what they do is they crash into a tree. And so then, Ron, what did you think of this transition? So that happens, they crash. When they come to the next, it's morning. That happens at night. When they come to the next day, it's morning time. They're no longer by the side of the road. They're in the middle of this clearing, and there's this house. And so, what did you think of that? At the
time, I was thinking, okay, there's a supernatural element here. It's like, So how did the RV get from really just off the side of the road into this clearing?
Do you think, because even if these people who were behind all of this that we learn about later, even if they obviously did move the vehicle, how is it that nobody woke up or stirred? But do you think that from the jump, those beer bottles were okay?
Yeah.
So they were knocked out. They weren't going to wake up.
They were drugged.
Okay, that makes sense. Because it was just how is it all of them knock out? Nobody wakes up. But
because they all drank from the beer.
What did you think of first impressions of the house when you first saw it? I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool looking house from the outside, architecturally speaking.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was different. and because of course where they are, there's no cell service.
There's no cell service.
No one can call for help. I did write down here, I still want an RV, despite all of this happening. I still want an RV.
All of this trauma.
So they go in the house, right? And they're walking. It's like nobody's home.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, who was it that was? I think it was Elisa was looking at. Why did she walk in there by herself? Oh, I think because everybody else is tending to Mark because he's I think broke his leg or something, and so they're.
I think she also notices that the door that had previously been closed is now open.
Oh yeah, it's open. So she walks in and she sees this wall of all these like old black and white photos of people where now at this point, because she doesn't like the camera never zooms in real. I couldn't tell if they were like just man-made masks or if they were wearing like actual animal heads on them. But either way, I'm like, okay, this would be a huge clue to leave the vicinity at once.
Like, major flag.
Like, at once, leave.
Yeah. And so is it after this point that is this the part where she wanders upstairs and they uncover the art on the walls that tells the story of these 3 nights? Is that when that happens? Or is that later? At some point, they see the art on the wall, like drawings or paintings or what have you. And so Fabrizio is taking them through. I can't remember if something else happens before all that.
Him and the doctor are walking through the wood. What was it? I just saw this movie last night. You think I'd remember it better, but
they go taking off to see if they can find the road, right? Because there's no signs of a road anywhere around.
They're walking in the woods. Oh no, because Fabrizio and at some point had to go to the bathroom. He says he leaves, and then he comes back and he tells the doctor Ricardo, he was like, "You have to come see this." And so they go, and that's where they see like.
That's right.
Like wicker men,
Yeah, the wicker men that represent the knights, and they're just pig heads,
a bunch of animal heads.
Yes,
pikes.
And Fabrizio notices, he's like, "We need to get out of here. The blood is fresh. Like you can see the blood is fresh. We have to go." And so at that point, that's when they flee into the house, maybe for safety.
Why would you go there? So that's where the people who
and that's where he uncovers the art on the walls, where he like fills them in more on the story of the 3 nights, the Aso, whatever, the other 2 nights. And I think like basically, guys, long story short, based off of what I was able to read and understand, it's from these 3 nights that essentially the birth of mafia crime families, like not maybe families in the traditional sense, but crime organizations start. Those are the origin stories of 3 different crime organizations. I don't know. Yeah, that's where, and so that part I was like, well, this is cool. Now this is like we're going somewhere.
Just these people have the survival instincts of zucchini. That's what I'm saying.
Because like, is it the next day? That knowing all of that, is it the next day that Ricardo and Fabrizio go off searching for a road? And at that point, Ron,
they all go. Because they're all together trying to get away. And that's after they find the girl.
That's after Mark gets killed, right? That they all go.
I think so, yeah.
I can't remember if Mark gets killed that night after Fabrizio is taking them through the lore. Is that the same night that,
Yeah, because they find the girl upstairs in that wicker man, whatever, cocoon.
And every time that something happens, you hear what sounds like bad weather sirens going off.
Like tornado alarm.
And there's like these massive lights on the house that turn on, so it just shines red, and so you just sense that something's happening. And so we're so like, I saw this movie like 2 nights ago, so it's gone. It's left my brain. But I think this is where they drag these freaking backwoods people with the masks show up and drag Mark from the trailer van into the house. They bash his ankles, so like he'll never, were he to survive,
like that movie walk. Mercy, is that what that movie was called?
Deliverance?
Misery.
Not Misery.
Misery.
Was
Did you ever watch Misery?
I've only seen Misery once, and I was young.
Because they do that,
and that was enough.
Kathy Bates' character, that's how she keeps James Caan from escaping again. She breaks his ankles like that, just like that.
So yeah, that's what they do to him. And then, and mind you, this is when we've just learned, because Fabrizio just took us through it. So basically what the knights would do, maybe they worshipped something or whatever, but they had to make a human sacrifice, and they had to, one of the knights has no eyes, one has no ears, one has no tongue. And so they go and the idea is that they have to make a sacrifice, a human sacrifice, They have to take the eyes, ears, and tongue of something and, I guess, offer it up to some higher entity. And that's what will help the people in the region prosper and prevent hunger and famine and things like that, if I'm remembering correctly. Having just learned that, we see these people lay Mark down on a table and proceed to like smush his eyeballs in. So with a device, right? So that was the part where I was just like, this was a mistake. this was a mistake. And the whole time I felt so bad for his girlfriend, because the whole time she's just like wanting to get to him, and Ricardo's like keeping her from doing it. And she's having to watch it happen through the slats of the floor. And so at that point, yes, the very next day, they all flee. They all recognize they've got to go. So they take off, only to realize that they come around full circle and end up right back in the cabin.
At the time, I was thinking, this is more supernatural stuff. It's like some kind of place out of time or out of the real world.
Were you at any point starting to suspect anybody?
Mm-mm.
Did you ever have misgivings? In the course of all of this, guys, they do find a little girl there in some sort of a wicker nest, and she seems to be missing her tongue, because there's a tongue in a jar right next to her.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like, we got to save this girl. We got to get her out of here. So she's with them, and she's like a young girl, maybe like 10, 11, 12. Did you ever suspect her at all?
No.
Did you ever wonder what was like?
No, because when they were driving, I don't remember if it was a billboard or somebody was looking at a paper or something, but it mentioned a missing mother and daughter. And so yes. I just thought it was that was the daughter.
I thought it was too initially, but then just based off of, because she's dressed like she's one of them. And all of these people, when we come to see them later, they just all look like rural country people, but like part of a cult. So she looks like one of them. So I was like, what if she's not that girl? What if she's part of their cult, and her like, I just wasn't fully trusting her for some reason. I was just like, what if she's in on it some way? I did not suspect exactly to what degree. I did not anticipate the twist of this movie at all.
Mm-mm.
They end up coming full circle right back to the cabin, and it's very frustrating because they had been kind of relying on Fabrizio to direct them, and because at one point when they first got lost, or when they first landed there in the clearing, Ricardo was trying to get his sense of direction, his bearings, and I think Fabrizio says something like, he's like, well, south is that way or whatever, north is that way. Ricardo asks him, were you a Boy Scout or something? And he goes, no, but I grew up in places like this, which was a tell, and we didn't pick up on it, but it was a tell when he says, no, but I grew up in places like this. So back to what I was saying, he is the one who had been leading them, lost his sense of direction. Later on, we come to find out probably like it was all intentional. He deliberately lured them. Oh, when we come across the abandoned cars,
I was thinking, okay, it seems like a lot of people have disappeared in this region. Why has nobody ever like investigated? Like, why isn't people think, is there like, I don't know, is there a serial killer? Because this is set in modern day, so it's not like, even though it kind of at times I would have to remind myself that this is not a period movie,
right?
Kind of. Just the rural setting would sometimes make me think, okay, and I'd have to remind myself that, no, this is modern day setting.
Yeah, I didn't know what to make of
nobody thinking, okay, is there like a serial killer out here that's just like...
Right.
Because that was a lot of cars.
This is a lot of people to go missing, you know? It's like, it's basically just abandoned vehicles indicating that these 5 are not the first 5 to end up like this. You really can't make sense of what's happening. And I think it's after they find those abandoned cars, and Ricardo and Mark's girlfriend, I forgot her name, Sophia, they're arguing. The little girl takes off and is like hiding out in one of the cars just to like get away from it all. And Elisa goes and finds her and sits with her and asks her if she knows the way out of this forest. And the little girl writes down, it's not a forest. That was very a fun little nugget of a scene, because you're just like, well, what is it? What is this?
Yeah.
Who's doing this? What's going on?
Although now as we're talking through this, now I'm thinking that they weren't really abandoned cars. Like maybe they just went to knowing what we know now about the twist, that they just went and got a bunch of cars maybe from a junk heap and just staged them there.
They could, because like I have questions about the end. So then when they get back to the house, that's when a lot of things just go downhill for Sofia and Ricardo.
Well, because I mean, back up in that upstairs loft or whatever it was, and they're sharing, I guess, the last beer. And
Mind
the only
you,
one,
like, no owner of the house has ever turned up at any point. And is anybody ever like, hey, does anybody live here? Or is this just an abandoned house?
and number two, do you really want to be drinking alcohol and risk
Right.
impairing your senses, considering everything that's happened already?
Well, like the whole point that honestly, because it's just a dumb beer that they're all sharing amongst each other. I'm like, what is even the point? Like, it's just it's not like you're passing a bottle of bourbon. It's a beer. Like, do you even need it? No.
But yeah, so they all take swigs out of this beer except for Fabrizio,
who says like, I'm on night shift or something. I've got the
guard
watch,
duty, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing we know, Elisa's waking up on the floor. Here's commotion outside, so she walks outside. The sirens are going. The community's all there. They've got poor Sofia and Ricardo like tied to poles up on this like stage, not a stage, but up on a platform.
All of these people are wearing those masks.
The little girl's back in the wicker basket cocoon, and they proceed to like slice off the ears, one ear each, I think, off of Sofia and Ricardo, and
is not good.
And then they slit their throats.
So what I appreciated was, because initially I was like, oh God, are we going to see this crap? We don't, like, they do shoot it from behind, like when they're going at Sofia, they're shooting it from the back of Sofia's head. So I appreciate that we're not seeing it. We are hearing it, which is awful enough. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. And then like when they do go and slit their throats, it's just like, well, thank goodness, like at least it's over for them, like. And so prior to that happening, Fabrizio comes out of nowhere and pulls Elisa back in the house. And so we think, okay, he's trying to save her butt and pull her back in the house so that she can be safe. And as far as they can be safe in there, that's the end. That's the end for Sofia and Ricardo. And I felt bad for Sofia. I really did.
Yeah.
Well, for both of them. But, we'd had that moment of bonding with Sofia and Elisa where I just thought, wow, she seems like a cool girl.
Yeah.
Who didn't deserve her untimely ending.
No.
But yeah, this is where we get the big reveal. This is where the movie just takes a complete turn from where it had been going down. And we learn that Fabrizio is behind this, that there is no... And this is where I get confused, Ron. The movie sets up the twist that it's like, there is no backwoods people that are part of some cult.
Right.
He's just sort of staging all of this as some sort of a snuff horror film.
Mm-hmm.
Are all of these people extras? Like, I'm confused about these people. Who are these people then? Where do they come from?
That's what I was, because I was like, okay, how could all these people be okay with actually killing people just to make a movie? And
like, do they think
but do they know, or do they think this is all like? Do they think this is all just staged and they're just like, yeah, like you said, just extras? Like we never know. We never find out the extent of how much they know. With the the only people we know for sure know the extent of everything are Fabrizio, the little girl, which
who turns out to be his sister.
I was not expecting that. And whoever their mother is, I'm guessing it was the lady in the red suit. I don't know.
Who's the mayor of the town.
Was she? I don't know where she came from.
Because she's also, like, when they're looking through the paper or whatever, she's also in the paper. And she's dressed in red in the paper too. And Fabrizio is asking them, like, what do you guys think of her? Blah, 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 blah. So, and it was something to the effect of, like, the article that she's in talks about how she's really been tough on crime and she's making the community safe again and yada, 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 which sort of makes sense given what she tells Elisa when she sees her there at the dinner table is just like...
that didn't make sense what she told her. What, like...
Basically, they're just like...
You're special, you're the special one.
Which I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I didn't understand anything she said to her.
I don't know what that means.
I understood what she said. I just don't know what it meant.
Like, she's like, you're the special one and yet you still have to die. Like, she tells Elisa, you have to die. But she's like... she seems to have complete control over all of these people, whoever they are, villagers, extras. I don't know what they are. So maybe they're all in, like, maybe they have to be in this against their will even, because otherwise this woman who seems to be part of some crime syndicate will have them killed. So I don't know. I don't really, we never really find out. I have questions about it. I'm just like the whole time I'm like,
I don't really
are
understand.
These people extras? Like, what is this?
Were they mafia? Like, I don't understand any of that part.
And so then we see all the things. Like, it's a full-on film production.
And I'm like, did nobody ever walk behind the house to see, like, all these tents? And This whole
tents
setup,
and
like, did nobody ever walk behind the house?
what is it, the craft services table, what
Yes.
have you. But it's like everything was staged. The
Mhm.
animal in the road that Mark almost ran over, that was staged. So it's like from the jump, this was all fake. And what did you think of that, Ron? What did you think of that reveal? There was a part of me that was a little teeny tiny bit disappointed because I was like, wait, the lure's not real? Like,
Yeah.
there's no folklore.
Well, like, when they wheeled her in, like, she's in I don't know, like a chair with wheels
Like a
on it,
wheelchair, yeah.
and her poor hand, like, nailed to the armrests.
Mm-hmm.
When they wheeled her into that control room, for a minute, I was like, "Wait, what? What is going on? What is happening right now?" It took a minute for the penny to drop because I was like, she's watching all the different monitors and seeing people, like, coming in and setting up the props and whatever, and I was just, for a minute, I was like, "Wait, what is happening?
Yeah.
What are we seeing?"
Yeah, because but prior to that, all we knew was that Fabrizio had revealed himself to be, like, I just interpreted, oh, he's one of them. He's one of the cult.
Mhm.
And
Like, he's the one that goes out and
brings people
brings
to
them
them.
in. Like,
Yeah.
human traffickers use people to, like,
Yeah. So
lure
that's,
young women in.
yeah, I was still fully thinking that this is all real and he's just part of it. And so then this scene you're describing is where we learn none of it's real. And he's the freaking nut job director behind it. And it's kind of cool. He basically tells her, this is what matters to people. This is what people are into. Italians make silly movies and silly films. And for what, when what really sells, what really drives viewership is stuff like this. It's, crime and murder and kidnapping, all that stuff. So he's just like,
But you don't have to make it, like, do it for real.
He's just like, what I'm doing is brilliant. What I'm doing is genius. And she's just taking it all in. So were you a little bit disappointed as well? Or were you just like, did you feel that was a pretty impressive plot twist?
Well, I thought it was different. Like, I cannot recall a movie where I've seen that before.
Yeah.
In this genre. So kudos to them didn't see that one coming.
Yeah. And honestly, it makes it a little novel because everything up to that point does kind of feel like movies you've seen before.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, this definitely, like, took it all and spun it on its head.
When Elisa takes her revenge, she's locked and loaded. And
because she learns the little girl is
in on it. And when the
and
little
can
girl
talk, she has her tongue.
Yeah, when the little girl opens the door and Elisa blows her away, what'd you think?
It was good. I liked that.
Because you don't usually see, like, children being blown away like that.
The scene where
you watch Walking Dead.
The scene where we have to watch Elisa pull her hands free from the nails was nasty. And so you're just like, oh my God, what is she gonna do? But when she shoots the little girl, she's fully suited up in, like, the wardrobe of an extra. She's wearing a mask and she's got the shotgun and she does not hesitate. She blows that little girl against the wall. I'm like, good for you.
You would expect, right? You would expect someone to, like, falter when it comes to shooting a child, but she did not. And
that little girl, like, conducted herself as like, she slaps Fabrizio when they're arguing. She just full on slaps him.
Yeah.
And so then what I was worried about was I was worried that Elisa was going to hesitate to kill Fabrizio. And thankfully she does not. Thankfully she fires off a shot at his kneecap, takes him out. So now he's crawling on the floor and she has a camera on him. She's recording all this because she's like, fine, let's turn the cameras on you. And I thought, man, she's not going to do it. She's not going to be able to do it. But nope, she totally shoots him dead too.
Thought if she could shoot the little girl, I was pretty sure she could shoot Fabrizio. My concern was, like, girl, you're filming yourself. This is evidence that you murdered 2 people.
The ending that we see after that is she's wandering off through the wooded area. I was fully expecting these people to come for her and get her. And I'm waiting for that the entire end of the film. They never do.
Yeah, like, where all those people go?
Yeah, she ends up encountering. They're on break.
they're hanging break.
They're hanging out in the green room. Whatever. So she ends up finding a little boy dressed in swim trunks in the woods. She almost shoots him. Thankfully, she doesn't. And then he takes off because he's like, holy hell, who is she? I'm going. And she follows him because she's like, oh my God, where did he come from? I'm going to follow him because he's going to take me to where people are. And sure enough, he takes her on the other side of this gated fence where she is suddenly on a beach, surrounded by people, surrounded by everyday Italians, sunbathers on vacation. She looks like, I mean, this literally looks like freaking Texas Chainsaw Massacre, final girl walking forward all bloodied and in ripped old clothing. And she walks into the sea as all of these people have their phones trained on her because they're all gawking and staring at her. Nobody renders aid. Nobody renders aid. They just turn on their phones and record her as she walks into the sea and she hugs her stomach. And that's it. How do you interpret that ending?
I think it's one of those dumb endings that's open to interpretation. I mean, I don't think she can drown.
No.
Because I don't think the people would, I mean, even though they're to this point they're too busy filming on their cell phones, I don't think they would actually let her just never surface and drown. I choose to think that she just walked in to, I don't know, get the grime off her. And maybe just to have that moment of silence underwater. And I think her hugging her stomach is she's maybe decided to keep the baby because at the beginning it was
she seemed conflicted.
She was her mother wanted her to terminate the pregnancy, but she seemed conflicted about it. And I think maybe that was her way of saying, if I could survive what I just survived, I can handle being a young mother. And
like more so than what I think the scene is trying to tell us about her and what becomes of her. I definitely do think that ending scene is also, it's making commentary on what Fabrizio said, and when in the reveal, telling us exactly what he said. It's just like all of these people, rather than help her, rather than render aid in any way, are just gawking at her and recording her and live streaming it probably across their social media platforms, and proving his point that it's like that's what we do. That's the society that we're in now. I think it's definitely a commentary on that. But Ron, what was unsatisfying about that ending was that, if you remember, that's not how the movie opens. The very opening of the movie, long before like the scene of her in the diner or whatever talking to her mom, the opening scenes of the movie are her in like down to her slip, bloodied and strapped to that same table that Mark had been strapped to, and we were left to sort of presume that something bad is about to happen to her. And then the movie starts with her in the diner, and it's sort of like, okay, well, now we're going to be...
Was that her?
That was her, I believe. It wasn't anybody else. Now I have to go back and watch and see if that was her. I thought it was her. Maybe it wasn't. Because I was just like, well, wait, what was that scene then? And because the whole time, the whole ending minutes of the movie, I'm like, they're going to catch her. They're going to catch her. They're going to drag her back to the cabin because that's the opening scene I saw. And then they never do. And I'm like, well, then what was that? But maybe that wasn't her.
I didn't pay that much attention to the face. And then as the movie progressed, I just assumed that was just
somebody else,
another victim that
maybe so
prior to this group that we follow through the movie.
Maybe so. So do you think that, to the point you made earlier, do you think that all of those abandoned vehicles were staged, or do you think they really did do this to other people?
I mean, it could be either way. I mean, they may have like put the dead animal or whatever in the road to force people to swerve off of it, and then
and then take it from there.
They could have just staged it for effect. So it could have been either way.
Yeah.
Them staging it would then at least answer my question of why has nobody ever like questioned that this many people have gone missing in this particular area, geographical area. I mean, it's not like it's the black, or what is it? The Bermuda Triangle. I mean, it's like somebody would notice if this many people had gone missing in this one particular spot.
Right. Yeah.
Although who knows? Because it seemed like the police were complicit also.
Yes. Yeah. It seemed like the police were in on it and definitely protecting the mayor woman. And maybe if, I can't remember what they say exactly about organized crime in that particular region, but I guess one way you could write off all of these disappeared people is you could just say like, well, the mafia is disappearing people. And I guess that's how you can kind of get away with a scam like this.
I just don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would the mayor be allowing this to happen? Like,
I don't know.
What does it profit you? Like, I don't understand.
Is she legitimately Fabrizio's mother, or did they just call her mother?
I don't know. But either way, I'm like, why? What is the point of this? That's what I'm wondering. Like, what is the point of this?
Yeah, so that's the end on that, and then we do get, like, some post-credit scenes that seem to be kind of, like, meta commentary within commentary on the movie of just, like, Netflix watchers,
Mhm.
rating the movie, rating Fabrizio's snuff film. It's good. It's a good movie, and if you haven't
Mhm.
seen it, it's definitely worth seeing, but, yeah, it's just maybe the first viewing's always the toughest for gruesome stuff.
Mhm.
Maybe I could watch this one again. It's not as bad as, like, The Day of the Lord. It's not as bad as that, so I think I could make it through this one again, knowing the twist. Were you properly freaked out? Were you properly scared? I was
Um,
a little scared.
it was a little tense, and I did have, like I jumped and screamed, like, in that part where I think it was Ricardo sitting in the bus and looking out the window, and all of a sudden, Fabrizio comes and bangs on it. This is when he's come back from using the bathroom. I did wanna say at one point, I don't remember where in the movie, but Mark's already been dead, so Sophia's kind of pissed off, and she says something about they're going back to the house, I think, because it's safer being in the house. For but Fabrizio says that it's safer to be inside rather than outside, and I'm like, "Okay, how do you figure that?"
Mhm, mhm.
All the murder table's inside, but anyway,
Right, right.
and they're like, "Well, what do we do if they come back?" And Sophia like walks off to she stomps off to the house. She goes, "We burn it down." And I'm like, "Yes, good idea. Why don't you do that right now? Like,
Right.
you
Don't
don't have to
wait.
wait. Burn it all down right now."
Just do it now. Yeah. Okay, so properly freaked out moments for me when Fabrizio goes off to go pee, shake the lizard as he calls it. And we see like he sees two of those rural people with the masks on.
Mhm.
And they just seem to appear out of nowhere. I was just like, nope.
Mm-mm.
Just like, no, thank you. Run, run, run. There were no jump scares necessarily, but plenty of things to be freaked out about in this movie for
Mm.
first time viewing. Where would you rate this one on the light scale?
I don't know. I guess probably maybe a 3.
Yeah, probably a 3 or like 2 or 3 for sure. I wouldn't watch this one in the dark. First time, I wouldn't watch this one in the dark. Because woods, I mean, that's the thing. It's like,
Yeah.
and that's like the beginning of the movie when you really think it's like going to be a folk horror movie. Those movies freak me out because it's
Yeah.
freaking woods, man, at night. And it's one of those movies, like, remember when we saw it, because they're in that clearing, and so you're just in this house that's exposed, and what you have all around you is just open field. It's that feeling of like not being safe. You can't hide. There's nowhere to hide. You're just a sitting duck. So that's also terrifying to me.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember the name of that movie that we watched that had that element.
Oh, the one with the little boy?
And the one with the little boy. I'll find it real quick. But yeah, it's that whole element of like you're out there in the middle of nowhere, you're exposed, there's nowhere to hide. The wasteland. El Paramo in Spanish, the wasteland in English.
Mm.
All right. Well, yeah. Give this one a watch if you guys haven't yet. It's Netflix. You did not get to watch your Halloween.
I did not. What have I been watching anything?
Did you watch any Halloween movies this season?
Nope. Didn't have time.
You know what I did? So I didn't watch any of my usuals. I mean, I watched some of them, but I didn't watch nearly as many of the usuals that I do every year. Instead, I watched a lot of stuff. I watched all of the Conjurings,
Mm.
except the most recent one, the one that was like in theaters. Now I've seen Conjuring 2. I watched Conjuring Devil Made Me Do It. Oh, they were good. They were good. Conjuring 2 was properly scary in some parts, but also kind of stupid in other parts. So, I mean, still not as scary as that first Conjuring. And then Conjuring Devil Made Me Do It. I didn't find scary at all, only because I saw the Netflix true crime like the Netflix documentary on this specific case. So I already knew the story. It wasn't necessarily scary to me so much as it was just like, interesting
What is the
interpretation.
case?
It's this kid who was like reportedly possessed for a period of time. Maybe he was like 7, 8, 9. I don't know how old he was, but he was a little boy. This was maybe like late 70s or so. And what happens is, I think these people, the Warrens, come in and meet with this family, try to help this family. I think ultimately the entity left the boy, and then his sister's boyfriend at the time ended up having supposedly demonic disturbances, and so supposedly maybe had also become possessed. And in that time of possession, I think he murdered somebody, and so he actually did go to, and it's true in the movie as well. He did serve jail time for that, But his defense, notoriously, was the devil made me do it. Like that's what he said in court, was that, the devil compelled him to do this. It wasn't him. And whether or not, I think the family, like the documentary on Netflix has the family talking. And so definitely the family stands behind him. The girl ended up marrying him. They're still married to this day.
I would know.
Well, because she believes him. Like, she believes that he genuinely, it wasn't him. It was.
Don't care if you've housed a demon before. Nope, sorry.
Like, I'm sorry.
To say it won't happen again.
Right. I'm so sorry for you. I wish you well. Goodbye. That demon might want to come back someday. And no, thank you.
I mean, the veil has been thinned there. Sorry, buddy. Nope.
So yeah, the Conjurings though, I hadn't seen. I finally watched the old Vincent Price House of Wax. I'd never seen it. Properly freaky. I'd never seen it before, and so I was just like,
a long time ago. Like, I couldn't even tell you.
It's scary. It is scary. It's dark. What else did I see that was new to me?
So what movie? Have you taken all your outside Halloween decorations down, or
Mostly the big giant Grim Reaper Alex has to take down. I can't manage that on my own. But yeah, mostly everything else. It's all just sitting in the garage. I need to get crap sorted back in boxes so it can go up to the attic. And then we'll have a brief break before we've got to bring down Christmas boxes. So a little bit sad. It's like some people get the post-Christmas blues, post-holiday blues or whatever. I do get a little bit of the post-Halloween blues.
Why don't you just leave it up till Thanksgiving? Just leave it up.
You know me, I want to get a Krampus for the yard. So I can't do that because there are people in our neighborhood who just properly see that stuff as there are legitimately people in our neighborhood who do not celebrate Halloween because they're so churchy that they see it as an unholy day.
Well, that's fine for their house. They can't tell you what you can or can't have up in your yard.
Well, yeah, but I know I shouldn't care what people think, but I just I don't want people. I don't want to be ostracized in my own community. There are people who did not come, purposely walk past our garage because they didn't want to come and see it. They just saw the things in my garage this year and they're like, nope. And I get whatever. If you don't want to see it because maybe you want Halloween to be all cutesy for your kids, that's fine. I totally get it. But I think I took it a little bit more personally this year than I think I should have, specifically because what I did was so focused on Latin culture. Mm-hmm. So part of me was just is it that you're scared or are you just hating on Latin culture? Whatever. Doesn't matter. I liked what I did. There were these, I think I told you guys, but there were these young teenage girls who came up and immediately they got it. They're like, are you La Llorona? And I'm like, I am. And I was like, and so is she in the garage there. And they're like, oh my God, she's our icon. And they went up and took pictures of her. And I was like, okay. I'm like, well, they get it. Oh, Ron, have you heard of this zombie horror movie on Netflix called The Elixir?
Mm-mm.
This one, it's brand new, came out this year, and it's Indonesian horror film. The only thing to know about it is a little bit on the longer side, I think.
Like how long?
This one is hour and 56 minutes.
Ugh.
I know. I've heard good things about it, but I've also heard it's a little bit longer than it needs to be. So I don't know. But yeah, it's Indonesian, it's zombies, and it's brand new, just came out this year. So that might be something to consider as well. Whether or not we do an episode on it, if you guys have seen this movie and you have feedback to share with us, share it. All right, well, I will let you go. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Bye. Don't Watch at Night is a Nest production hosted by me, Veronica, and Valerie. Editing by Valerie. Music by Omar Chakor. Production support for this episode provided by Lorenzo Villarreal and Alex Street. Listen to new episodes of Don't Watch at Night every other Monday, and don't forget to give us a rate and review. It's the best way to help us grow.
Hi friends, it's Valerie, and I'm just dropping in really quick to let you know that I've written another book. A Song for Adelita is out now. It tells the haunting story of a family's tireless search for truth and betrayal that they'll uncover along the way. This is a book that incorporates Las Soldaderas as well as the Rio Grande Valley here in Texas. It's a story that I'm very proud of. So if you're looking for a new ghost story to read this season, pick up a copy of A Song for Adelita, available now on Barnes & Noble, Bookshop, and over on Amazon. Ebook on Amazon. And thanks for supporting independent books like mine. Bye.